words a minute.
I can do more than you did.
Yeah, that's not it. That's
I'll
not
spell every
saying.
third word right. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I'm fine. I live in Fulton County. I'm allowed.
All right, so we are live, coming off the back of the Fit Expo. Great tournament. I'll tell you what, that tournament is kind of consistent. You know, we were about 20% larger than we were last year, but good energy. I love the raised stage. A lot of it was super fun. A lot of standout performances to highlight. I think one of the ones that catches my eye the most was Dane Sellers. The guy wins 242s and he wins supers.
Yeah, really impressive.
Yeah, super impressive. Shark was an absolute animal. Antonio Gorowski got some massive win over Matt King in the left-handed 198 pro class. It was a big deal. And he won a super match prior to that over Kevin Sam. So,
yeah, he looked good.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff going down. What do you think of it, Trent? I know you got stuff to do.
It was, I enjoyed it. I think it was really cool being, like I said, being at the Fit Expo and, being up on a stage and have people come by and talk to us and ask questions and all that stuff. I think it definitely helps get us out there. I feel like I wish more people would have showed up for sure. The reffing was really tight. We had to have a couple stand-ins. But, overall, nobody got hurt. Everything went smoothly. We had one celebrity ref over here. John was nervous as shit. He was down there shaking. He was so scared to ref.
No, I was shaking.
He was like, I hate this shit. I hate it.
It was that jersey was so big that Kevin Sams threw at me and ran away. I was like, oh, shit. All right, I guess I'm in.
Overall, I think it went really good. Everything went smooth. we had some decent people that showed up. So, you can't ask for much more, especially it being close to a holiday weekend.
Yeah, I know. It was a good tournament. We're coming. We were 21 days ago. We had Mayhem, and I believe we did about 110 entries. So not bad. I believe last year was like 90 or something. So definite improvement over the Fit Expo. And this particular Fit Expo was a lot smaller.
Yeah.
The Expo itself was a lot smaller than last year. Last year it was pretty sizable. I'm not sure what's happening with that venue, if they're going to keep doing that in Orlando or what, based upon the turnout with, the Expo itself. We were pretty packed over there. When I came back from grabbing the third table, it was a nice bit of people. A lot of dudes I've never seen before. At the very front, we were selling jerseys left and right to people, guys just showing up first timers. So I think we're going to end up with one of these things where like everybody comes to one and we're like, holy shit, we got like a 400 entry tournament or something.
Yeah. You're like, oh, damn. All day.
It was fun, man. Robert Kelly was doing a bunch of cool stuff with the stream. I enjoyed it. That's one of our venues that we have kind of the least bit of control over.
Yeah.
You can only do so much. You're in a super like patrolled policed area. So King of Florida's on the horizon. The belts are coming out. I got a special surprise up my sleeve. I'm hoping works out. We're gonna have I believe King of Florida is going to be absolutely enormous.
And where's that one at again? What venue we having it at this time?
I'm going to pull up the schedule on here real quick.
I think it says D-Land on or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, they're it's the same one. We have 3 events at that same venue. I'll use this as a chance to go over the
Is it to the outside one?
Yeah, City Limits, the same place. I actually like that place. It's the same one we did Bike Week at, and then we're coming back to do the Battle at the Beach in November. So it's a cool venue. I think it's going to be out of control. Last event, we had the ring out there and Chance taking on the bikers, and we had all our stuff on the stage. So I'd like to do something absolutely crazy for it. We got to see what the budget allows, but we're going to have the King of Florida belts coming back, all sorts of stuff. If you win the overall, you'll get to hold this belt all year long. Right now, Shark and Chance are holding the belt. So they'll be bringing them back. Your name gets etched into it, very similar to the FAL hammer. Let's see if I can pull any pictures of these. But yeah, Fit Expo was awesome. A lot of the leaders, I found that with the points race results being posted, a lot of the leaders came on out, didn't they? They kind of came out and reinforced that spot. They realized, hey, you know what? I got it. Let me lock it up. So you've seen Shark come out. You've seen Newman come out. You've seen Gerald Lorino come out. You also got a lot of new guys like Dane threatening the 242 class. I believe Brandon Williams is the leader of that. So Dane's a absolute solid threat to that. These guys could get locked up in a couple battles and then a couple guys skip, like I was saying before, and you get an absolute situation where everybody is fighting, 2-3 points apart, 6 different guys. And I hope that's what it comes down to at the end of the year.
Right.
Man, I'm looking for some King of Florida belts.
Yeah, it'll be nice if we have a couple of people that's like really close, and even maybe somehow, some way get some ties. We gotta have some tiebreakers. Like it comes down to that final tournament.
Could you imagine how awesome that would be? They're arm wrestling for like 2 or 3 grand, and they have exactly the same amount of points.
I mean, I don't think anybody's catching John in the 76 lift.
I'm second place right now because Gerald won, so I think he's ahead of me now.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't pull this weekend. That's right. So I mean, it could come. Y'all could go back and forth, and end up having to pull in the final. The final tournament might be y'all two.
I had to let him catch up a little bit and make it fun.
Yeah. Y'all
Yeah.
better be glad George ain't been showing up. He waxing all y'all's ass.
Man, I'll put George in the headlock. No.
George must have so much.
You might put him in a headlock, but you
need
ain't
to show up.
ass.
Hell no, I won't.
George is rich. He don't need his piece of the 10 G's.
He might have showed up to the last 5 and beat us all 5 times in a row and be done.
Yeah.
Is George Whitfield turning into the new Jeremy Pappy?
I think so.
Can we talk about how Jeremy Pappy's still waxing people?
There's people still upset that he's on the rankings.
For what?
Because he's not truly a 154 guy. He's 160, 165, and the only tournament he pulls now is Mayhem, and Mayhem's only a 65 tournament. So he's technically not a 154 number 1 guy, but we all know that Pappy could go at 54 and wax anybody in the state.
Yeah. And pretty much at 76, it looks like he just come through pretty much everybody.
Oh, he would wreck everybody in a 76 right now, without a doubt.
I don't think he's beating George.
I don't think he'll beat George.
No.
Maybe not right now, no. But if he trained up, he could.
I don't think so.
Not this super George you're about to see.
Hey, nice.
I know Georgia got to show up first. I'm fixing to start picking his ass up and showing up at his house. Like, all right, get in the car, let's go.
You should have told me you were coming to that last practice. I could actually plan for it. I just look up and you're at John's house.
That's how I do. So I'm like a ghost. I just show up.
Let's look. We got right here the King of Florida belts. So you can't see in the picture right here, but to the left, you'll have these plates with your name on them, all the year's winners, just like the FAL hammer.
That's cool.
Super prestigious thing in Florida. This is going to represent you as the number 1 guy in the state of Florida.
I just need one of them that says Florida's best referee.
That's for the end of the year. That's for December.
I think I get it just because I'm the only one that showed up this weekend. I think right there solidified my belt. I was the only motherfucker that showed up.
Yeah, I think that deserves a belt in itself.
Yeah. I skip a day of vacation to come hang out with y'all fucking degenerates.
You love it. You know, you
I
ain't got no
do.
damn friends.
I do. I don't have any friends. I'm literally got Ashley and my cousin Emily here with me. It's the only friends I got. I'm 2 hours away from home.
This guy
Well,
left vacation to come here to foul me out of the tournament. You're
What a dirtbag.
you could have just stayed put.
Fucking piece of shit.
This guy, I drove
Could've let
200
me-
miles for this. I'm calling some fouls. You gotta love it. Yeah, it was a great tournament.
You ready?
I mean, honestly, there were a lot of upsets. I thought that
Well, I haven't heard from DC.
Solik, what's up?
No, I'm sorry to Ashley. Sorry.
Oh, I thought Bob Solik would have a little more for Newman than he did. Newman looked dominant.
Yeah. Newman looked really good.
Jerry Lorino looked untouchable at 76. Looked very solid.
You know, yeah, because I think the only loss he got was right hand on fouls to Matt Rundle. Kept pushing him off the pad with a press. Boy, he was mad.
All right, guys, I gotta go. I'll see y'all. Y'all have fun. Don't get in no trouble. Don't work too hard this week while I'm on vacation.
All right, be safe.
See you, buddy.
Ford just went ahead and sent us some updated King of Florida pictures. Let's go ahead and get the picture of this bad boy up. Let's see. Not the greatest picture, but we'll roll with it. Yeah, come on around. You can see it too. All right, there you go. You get a little bit of an idea of the King of Florida belts. So, this belt goes to the number one guy in Florida, the absolute overall winner. So if in the event that somebody doesn't win it, it'll be the highest placing Florida guy in the overall. Let's say John Brezink shows up and wins the overall. He doesn't take the King of Florida belt. King of Florida belts for the highest placing Florida guy. So last year, Noel Nunez held the belt all year.
Nice.
So that just gives you a good example. You don't have to be that guy. I could see Antonio Gorowski having that belt for the next year or something.
God, we would never hear the end of that song.
Yeah.
Oh man, it'd be on every Facebook post.
Oh, come on. You got to walk around with it, flex with it. When I win it, I'm walking around with it all year long.
Oh yeah.
This year, I'm entering the tournament, but I'm going to lay down to everybody. And then I'm buying my way into the overall fresh as daisy. This is my plan to get this belt.
You're a dirtbag.
I know. It would just be easier to buy myself the belt. Ford, you know what I thought about Ford? These aren't the King of Florida belts that I just shared from you. These were the King of Florida belts that went as the actual prize right before we started our belts. So I just noticed they are extremely similar. However, the one that I shared, the gold one, that has the plates that have the linear names and all this, where you can keep track of who's the champ each year. These are the belts that went home. I believe the South Carolina guys took. But yeah, King of Florida is on the horizon. We need to make it bigger than Mayhem. That's it right there. I said it. It's got to be bigger than Mayhem.
Can you imagine? Oh my God.
Yes, I have a crazy imagination. I can imagine. So I'm hoping to blow that venue out of the water. I'm hoping we do 300 entries, make it the biggest arm wrestling party of all time. I don't know if I need to get bounce houses out there for the kids and just make this insane, but we need to make King of Florida out of control. Fit Expo was cool. But as you could see, we've done a little bit higher energy, right? The
Mhm.
audio there was a little drowned out, in my opinion. The stream was the very best it's ever been. Robert Kelly's like doing like an ESPN style chess cam type thing and stuff. It's super sick, but King of Florida is going to be 10 times what the Fit Expo was.
I agree.
I'd like to see, like you said, an event where everybody shows up at the same event, you know, where we can get Daniel Price versus Dane Stellers and,
Yeah,
you know,
all the
super
matches
class.
happen. Yeah,
Yeah, it would be nice.
that could be King of Florida though. That
On it and don't have entry forms for it, but that was according to the folders.
So based upon my calculations in my brain,
131.
I've done 130. It was 131 entries. But I do believe a couple of these were last minute. We bulked them up a little to, you know, a couple people filled in and jumped in a few classes. So 131 is the unofficial number. And it looks like we had 88 right and 43 left. So right hand was actually super heavy class. I mean, could have been a 200 entry class with the right like that. But not as bad as I thought. I thought we were at about 110. I stand corrected. We're at about 131.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's okay. It's really not bad for that tournament. You know, like I said last year, I think we did 90 or 100 entries, something like that. So pretty
Growing.
good. Yeah, I know we're growing. It was a good time. When is King of Florida on the schedule? Let's go ahead and check that out.
I think it's August 12th.
Yeah, I wanted to do it on near my birthday in September, but not doable. I just had the damn schedule up too. You're like, you don't know the date? I'm like, I should have it tattooed on my arm, right?
Right. Shout out to the sponsors.
Yeah, shout out to the sponsors. All right, let's see. August 12th, King of Florida. Yeah. So what do we got from here? This is pretty sizable time too. So what do we got? 6 weeks?
Yeah, I think that's the longest gap, ain't it, between all of them?
Yeah, there should be a tournament in between these. What was I thinking? I'm crazy.
No, this is perfect because now everybody has no excuse about being beat up or nothing like that. Everybody's gonna show up fresh. 20 people per class. That's the way it should be for King of Florida, anyways. It's like, I mean,
You ever been to King of Florida?
I competed in my very first tournament in 2021 amateur. I got killed.
It's a pretty good energy, right?
Yeah, it was cool. And then I went last year, but I didn't compete. I was all beat up from stuff. I didn't know what I was doing yet, but I'll be there. I'm competing left this year for sure. Hopefully right. But I'm definitely doing left.
Yeah, I'd love to give away a bike or something cool, but time constraints, man, and just, you know, these types of things take a lot, but we're going to definitely do something special for King of Florida. The belts are coming out. We'll obviously have the overall belts. We always have crazy awards. I'm going to post the points update. I think it's about to get interesting. We're literally at the exact halfway point now. Right. So all this was just a lot of talk. Now we're like, hey, man, we're on the back stretch of picking up some bread, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. I've been just pulling in the 220s, messing around. And I think Goose is leading that, but I'm right there in the running for that. So it's for me, it's even fun, just something to keep track of and chase and fuck around with the guys with. I can imagine how some of these guys are thinking about it.
Are you gonna keep pulling 220 or are you gonna pull the 198s?
I don't know, man. I feel like I got hurt this weekend. I was so out of shape that I feel like they like pulled me apart like Stretch Armstrong or some shit.
That's a real problem. That's what I was worried about from being so small right now and everything. From
Yeah.
I don't want to go out there and get hurt.
I feel like both my pecs are torn. They're not, but I just feel like I'm like my shit's ripped apart.
That's terrible.
So, yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Expect lots and lots of promotion coming out. We will be putting out the points Wednesday. I'm gonna be trying to start getting on schedule where we do the points the following Wednesday right after the tournament. So now that we're caught up on everything and all this, a lot of these leaders, you leaders that are getting close to that money, I would stay on it. Don't let someone creep up and steal it from you. Brad Grundy, he's smart. He knows to he's keeping track of it. I'm sure the kids calculated how many events he could win and lose and still get it, but
Yeah.
There's a few people that are in the position he's in, but if you're not one of them guys, I would chase it. Matt King's got himself in a position that he looks like he's getting some money now. So pretty exciting. Don't forget this $10,000 is split among all the classes, all the winners from the classes. So it's not like Brad Grundy's taking all 10,000. Carl Stanley, he's pretty much locked his name up on some money left-handed. He's got like fucking, I don't even remember, something crazy, 1,000 points or something.
It might as well be 1,000 points.
Yeah. Them two guys are definitely getting some bread. I know Mike and Bob are still in a dogfight. You and Jerry look like you're gonna have some wars once you get back. 98s is a fucking mess of guys winning it. So, but Matt's staying consistent. 220s, I think Grayson and Goose are kind of the favorites for that. I'm going to give them a lesson in math later on in the season, but 242s, Brandon Williams was the leader. I believe now he still might be, but Dane is up in it now. So I think it's going to put a good bit of pressure on him. And then supers, obviously, you said, are kind of locked up with these two animals. So it's still exciting. Still very exciting. You know, a lot of it's bragging points too. Even if you're not going to be the guy to get the chunk of money, you know, you want to finish above the next guy, because ultimately at the end of the year, our ranking is going to be built off of how you placed last year.
Right.
You know, the good super match opportunities will go to the guys that finish the highest. So similar to how monster trucks go, you don't necessarily get paid upon how you place in monster trucks, but they pay you your next year based upon how you placed last year. That's your value now. You know, you get a show fee. But we can, you know, it's a lot more interesting to give a super match to the number 1 and 2 guys rather than a guy that just didn't give a fuck and only has 7 points at the end of 12 events.
Right.
You know, so and a lot of these guys, I mean, it's super competitive. The 54s, them guys are fighting it out.
That's a fun class to watch. There's a lot of good people in that class. That's probably my favorite one to watch is them guys. There's a lot of them.
You know, it's a super good class. I would love to see some more 76 guys come up here and give Jerry Loreno a run for his money. I'd like to see you up here. I'd like to see George, Pappy, bunch of good guys.
Yeah, I got a date with him and on the left hand come up at King of Florida, but the right hand, we'll see how it all shakes about with that bad boy. But
I'll tell you who impressed me is Cody Register. Or not, I'm sorry, not Cody Register, Cody Anderson.
Hey, he's solid, man.
He's getting solid. He looked like an arm wrestler. He looked like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah,
Ford had a wild showing and took second place in the tournament.
Yeah, he squeezed right on in there, didn't he?
He's leveling up. He's leveling up, man. Him and Antonio, they're both leveling up a lot. Those are the standout guys that I think did a lot better than I would have typically wrote them in on.
Yeah.
Ford was an absolute threat. I mean, if he had got his position a little more on Mike, he might have been able to win the match, you know.
Yeah,
and that's the only person that I believe beat him.
Yeah, I think my buddy JT beat Ford, and then he lost to Bob in a war over there, and then Ford went and smoked Bob, and then stuck him, and then
You're right. He did work his way out B side. That which makes it even funner, right?
yeah, that B side's fun, and Newman's just so versatile. He can do everything, can he?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's a complete arm wrestler, dude.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have thousands of hours at practice, just because you live by it. Thank you, B. Wipe up your mess. What's up, Robert? How you doing, big dog?
Good. Trying to get this audio worked on, so joined late. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you. So tell us about your new streaming capabilities. I didn't know you were gonna pull all this off.
I wish I had a little more time to spend on it. That was a good time. We'll experiment it with a little bit more here in a couple weeks at Arizona State. But I got over-the-shoulder mounted wireless cameras now. Actually, I'll go grab one. So now that we're gonna have this, we're gonna have good, solid, wherever we want action, which is cool. So this will sit on my shoulder or somebody's shoulder. Got lots of options there. But now we can do the
looks like a
on the table, over the shoulder referees mount, all these good angles. Now when we're doing awards and all that, we can go to them. So now that was a big thing that we were missing before, is if they weren't standing in just the right special spot, no one on the stream got to see them. So now with this, when we're doing awards and doing all that, we can go and we can do that. We can give the person announcing it. We can get that audio grab now. I wish I would have had a little bit more time to set that up last time, but hindsight's 2020. But we're gonna do a little bit better on getting some video of all of the other stuff that the FAL does, because I think that's what makes y'all unique. The stuff that you do behind the scenes, and like when you're off, when you put that microphone down, I'm pretty much going to convert it to the branding camera, because whatever you're doing, it's something that the viewers would find entertaining. You're either interacting with the crowd, you're throwing merch around, you're going to work on a problem, anything like that. Now we have the ability to go and capture that. I really wanted to do this time was go, because everything's wireless now, right? We could have gone anywhere in that convention center and had video. When the audio is working like it is right now, we could have done it with audio too. So in theory, we could send a camera guy and a person with 2 microphones anywhere into the venue, and they can go do an interview and we can broadcast it. So we're going to do a little bit more of that, interacting with the fans. Where'd you come from? Who's your favorite FAL puller? What class are you trying to get into? Because I think that's what's going to really bring FAL to the spotlight, is how much you guys care about your arm wrestlers. It's really unique to you guys. I mean, everyone else says it, but you guys are about it.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. The camera that you had, the over the shoulder camera, was awesome. I didn't realize what he was doing until I got to see on your computer, like what the screen. It looked sick. Yeah, it looked like you were on. It was like the cameraman that's on the sidelines in the NFL games, or like the guys like running into him, crashing.
Yes,
that's what it looked like. So I liked it. I thought it was cool. It was next level. Just some more typical fun FAL type stuff, That's always, like you said, I love to do all the crazy stuff. I like to interview people. I like to get the backstory. We were talked about before. That's what made Gary Roberts shit so legit.
Yep.
So yeah, that camera, I would love to have a camera on me half the day where people could see half the crazy shit people are coming up to me.
Yeah, because the stuff that you're doing is, some of it's comical, right? Like the gripes and stuff that you gotta deal with on the regular. Pretty much every weight class has got 2 people talking to you, and that those interactions, I know they catch my attention because they're hilarious, and it's like I think the crowd would enjoy some of that too. Is like just more of that. We have plenty of downtime in between the arm wrestling that we can start capturing some of that.
Yeah, no, I agree. That best thing about this last one was just how quick it was. We started at like 12:15, wrapped up by 5 o'clock. So 5:15 or so. It was nice to not be a 10, 11 hour 12-hour all day, arm wrestling event. Sometimes they're good to just get in and out. One of the best days I've had arm wrestling was when I destroyed the chalk bucket at this same event. I was home by like 9:30 in the morning or something,
Yeah.
like 10 in the morning. I was home. Had been to the tournament, been home, took a nap. It was 11 a.m. So sometimes
That's
it's
wild.
good just to get home early. I'm gonna keep this one nice and short, man. I got a bunch of fun stuff coming up for King of Florida, my favorite event of the year, my signature event. This is the thing that I worked for the past 5-6 years, mostly honing all my energy on this event prior to having the FAL. So I want to make this bigger than Mayhem. I want to make it the biggest arm wrestling tournament in Florida. We got big shoes to fill coming off of 257 entries, or is that the number? 257, 257. So we got to crush that. I've done 191. This was by myself without any of the FAL Army. In the past, I think last year's did around 170, 165 or so. So hoping to blow it up. We're going to be in D-Land, Florida, which is pretty much Daytona Beach area. It's going to be awesome. That venue gives us pretty much full reign, full use of everything.
Euphoria?
No, not Euphoria. Euphoria is in Winter Park. It's going to be City Limits, where the Bike Week event was.
Oh, with the outdoor stage. Okay. Outstanding.
Yes.
Where it had
Yeah,
all the
yeah, with all the parking. We're going to put up some tents. That's that day we had the Oklahoma windstorm.
I bring it with me, man.
Came through 50, 60 mile an hour winds, blowing everything down. The winds that happen in Florida. So it was a good time. But yeah, we're coming back to DeLand. I love that venue. We get them to, we need to get out the wing special. They do a crazy wing night, and we need to get them to open that back up for us on Saturday. That's like the wing night place in town. If you're out there in Volusia County, that's the spot on a Monday night. So, that guy loves gimmick. Maybe we get them to buy us a Harley we give away at King of Florida, right? For dreaming. But expect something special. King of Florida's always got crazy awards, crazy energy. Robert Kelly, I'm sure, is going to be leveling it up again and again. Like I said, by the 12th event, I'm going to come out in like a Megatron suit with lasers and doing a whole light show and dance. I'll be breakdancing, covered in lights. It'll be out of control.
Remember, I told you when we started this, by December, I want to be ESPN. I think we're getting there. We're close.
Yeah, it can look like it. I've seen stuff that's produced on ESPN that is of our quality right now.
Yep.
Right now. So
I'm going after Monday Night Football, though.
yeah, exactly. We had a Sarah LaFawn, a young lady, traveled here, entered the tournament, and entered the men's class. Let's not glance over that. That deserves a little attention.
Yeah, I talked to her for like probably a month before the tournament, and she surprised me. She got a win.
She got to win. She looked pretty strong. She knew how to arm wrestle.
Oh yeah.
She wasn't there asking a soul for advice. So
Yeah.
she was just out there just knocking them out. So I was impressed when she asked, could she enter the men's class? I'm going to say yes to stuff like that anytime, right? Absolutely.
Talk about my favorite part of maybe the favorite part of the FAL tournament when you said, Sarah, who do you want to pull? And you let her pick her bracket. That was awesome.
Yeah. Robert Kelly, he placed. My dog over here placed in it. Is that
Finally.
the first placing at the FAL?
First time I've got a medal at the FAL. That's right.
Okay.
Second place.
Hell yeah.
You look like you learned how to arm wrestle in the past couple months, to be fair. I will say it's probably the best performance I've seen of you yet. You did look pretty damn solid.
Oh, yeah.
He was out here crushing people and running back to the microphone or back to the camera. And like that, it was kind of disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie. If you would have beat me like that and went back and fucked with all them knobs, and I would have been pissed off. Oh, good job.
Yeah, I'm coming after Ford. I see him in there. I think he's Gonna be a good benchmark for that 54 class. Holy cow. He looked good this weekend.
Yeah, no, he's kicking some ass, dude. And the kid is like 10, 15 pounds under the weight limit too.
I think he was
Yeah, he
130.
weighed in with cowboy boots and his hat and jeans, and I think he was like 140 pounds.
Yeah, that's out of control. Out of control. He's probably pound for pound the strongest person in the building.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. He's a beast.
Yeah, if he was 260, it'd be a problem. So yeah, it was good. A lot of people, like I said, a lot of people surprised me. It's not even their placing. A lot of people placed outside of where they should. It's not like people didn't show up and that's why they took second. Bob Sowick showed up and Ford cracks him. So there were a lot of upsets.
Said in the chat, he's 132.4 right now.
Jesus. So he's 22 and a half pounds under the weight limit. So he's basically in a whole nother weight class. If that was 76, you would be 198, 22 pounds away.
I'm telling you, I think you would have more people in a 143 class than you do in your 220 classes. It might gut out your 54ers, but all of your 54 guys are light.
Yeah, it's something to consider next year. It may be cool to swap the classes up a little, and with the points and all that, you can't really make a change like that fairly when there's that much money on the line. But yeah, next year I wouldn't be opposed to or add a 32. Well, I guess not 32, a 50, a 43,
Yeah,
65.
that's the official class.
Or you could do like 143 and 160. That's
spread it out a little bit.
Split. Because the reality is in arm wrestling, whether people want to admit this or not, the weight classes matter a lot more the lighter the guys are.
Yes.
Because it's a larger percentage of your body. Let's say Ford is 150, or let's say 54 guy, right? He has to arm wrestle 76 guy, it's 20 pounds. Right. Well, if you weigh 150, it's a sizable percentage of your weight compared to if you weigh 260 and you give up the same 20 pounds. So you just feel it way more in lighter classes. I don't really like to hear when both men are above 250 that a guy was 10 pounds heavier than him. Right? Like if a guy's 275, the other guy's 285, how bad do you feel for the guy? Not that much, right? But, when you get a guy it's like 160 and the other guy's 149, it's kind of fucked up. It gets a little bit. So the weight does matter. But there's also, I feel that the weight classes don't matter as much as the size of the person. Like if your back and shoulders and elbows are thick enough, you could arm wrestle in any weight class. Look at Artem. He's thick enough right now at the joints and everywhere that it doesn't really matter. The weight difference doesn't matter so much. Where the weight affects you is where the other guy's out bodying you. It's like me arm wrestling Paul Passmore. And we're both committing the shoulder. The fucking weight matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm suddenly kind of as thick as him, but I'm maybe just a little shorter, so I'm 40 pounds lighter, but I'm just as thick, it don't matter as much. It doesn't. Not to say that the thickness matters, but when you can body with that guy too, that weight doesn't matter as much. When you can go frame to frame with someone that's that big, it matters a little less. I feel it on my rotator cuff, my elbow, when I'm arm wrestling someone that's their body is blocking me. Like Ryan North. Anywhere he goes, he's like his body is blocking the table from you. He's so damn big. So you got to be able to push right, to shove his shoulder out of the way pretty much. That's my opinion on how the weight matters. But I think above 250 or so, I don't think the weight matters. It kind of does when a guy's 400 like Levon versus 250. But, you
more arguments about instead of a lighter class, there needs to be like a 300 and over class. Because you got to remember some super heavyweights start at like, what's the smallest one you've ever seen? I've seen 230.
Yeah, 230s.
231. So you got a 231 guy pulling a 400-pound guy. Like you feel that's even close on any scale?
Well, that's why I said at around 250, 260 is where I believe it quits mattering as much. I mean, I don't know. I've had good luck against bigger opponents in some realms. I think if everything's equal, no, nothing's fair unless everything is equal, right? All the strikes equal and he's 100 pounds heavier. Are you asking me if that's fair? Fuck no, it's not fair. But the 400-pound guy, if this 700-pound guy arm wrestles him, is that fair?
Is there a 700-pound guy?
I don't. But so at some point, we got to pick the
Yeah,
limit.
cut it off. Yeah.
I think you're right. 231 is way too low for the limit or for the bottom end of the limit.
Yeah.
Maybe 265s, dude, to be honest. I think the UFC, the UFC doesn't call their final class the super heavyweight class. It's called the heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
Right. Or is it the super heavy? They have a 265 cutoff essentially, where you can't be any heavier than 265. So we should bump probably the fair thing is bump our limit up to 242 and then have one additional monster class. Whatever, a fucking mega heavyweight if it's not super heavyweight, whatever you call it. But 265 and up.
The mega heavies.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, we don't have a ton of 300-pounders in the FAL, do we? It seems like they're all 300 and under for the most part, aren't they?
Who's that? The super heavies?
Yeah.
No, fuck no. Most of them are over 300.
Are they that big? I don't remember.
Dude, you got guys like Chuck Westbury.
Yeah. Chuck's over 300 pounds. He don't look that big.
They're probably like 315, 320. You got Taylor Dykes, he's like 350. You got Chance pushes close. Chance is like 290. So
Isn't Carl close too?
Carl's like 305.
290. Yeah, Carl was 290 last weigh-in I saw. He might be floating around there.
So you might get a lot of guys that what might happen is you create a 305 class or something and everybody like stays under 305 to avoid that class.
Yeah.
Or something. And then Artem was the 305 champion. That'd be
that's how
not allowing that.
That'd be ridiculous.
Let's do it. Let's get Arden to be the super mega heavyweight champion.
How did the match with him and Bowen go?
Artem didn't win a round in Australia.
Right hand. He went 2-3 left hand. He lost 2-3 against Mario Tambakis, right?
Yeah.
How did it go? Were they good matches?
I think if it was in America, Artem beats Mario and Bowen just looked too strong.
Did he? He just looked too strong.
Didn't Bowen have to Kings move him though or something in one round? Just look at some highlights.
I think he did. I don't think he had to. It looked like Ryan never lost pronation the entire time. His arm never opened and his pronation stayed fully intact.
What? But he was 240 something?
Yeah, he's huge. It was 60 pounds, I think, weight difference.
Yeah, that's out of control.
Good for Artem going over there though. That's good.
Yeah, and he had a fucked up.
Oh,
fight.
he went through hell.
Getting there.
Yeah, multiple canceled flights. Was supposed to be there 2 days early. Showed up the evening, like the morning of, like at midnight.
Yeah, it was like 12 hours before the match.
And they pulled at 1 a.m. his time. So like his body clock was all off and everything.
Yeah, that's horrible, dude. I'm sure that was part of the plan.
Yeah.
And they definitely did not give him an opportunity to win that one.
No, you can't trust a ginger. Once he sets the matchup, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know that, Robert.
That's smart thinking.
Exactly. But props to Artem for going out and representing us. He hates the semi-pro class, but he is from Florida and we love him.
Yeah.
Hey, shh.
He did good too. I mean, he fought hard. Even when it was a losing battle, he was still giving it 110%, which is awesome. Most people, when they hit that wall, they just kind of, like Dave Chafee against Devin, he kind of laughed and went, no, we're done. There's nothing I can do here. But not Artem. He kept going. He's going to try to break down that wall.
Good. Yeah, I have to rewatch it. I didn't watch it. I assumed it was pay-per-view. But yeah, props to Artem, props to everybody this weekend. Everybody kicked some ass. We had an event, 131 entries. Can't ask for much more at the Expo. Hard to get in, hard to park, hard to do everything. The next one's amazing. King of Florida. Everybody keep your eyes posted. I'm gonna check the chat one time, make sure I'm not missing anything crazy. Any way you can get the camera on the elbow pad so you guys can do replays like how the WAL did to do reviews and stuff. That will never happen.
That's gonna take too much time.
I would never, ever do that to my referees in a million years to make him run it back. And I got robbed. Okay. Trent robbed me in the tournament. No, reviews are a bad idea in arm wrestling unless you are in a super match scenario or the finals.
Yeah, that's what Michael was talking about. He's saying he got called for an elbow foul pressing in the final, and he said he watched all his videos that he had and he never came off the pad.
Gotcha. I'm going to tell you some advice, Mike. Stop watching your videos after the elbow foul because there's no time machine. So even if it shows you elbow fouling or not elbow fouling, they're not going to restart that match. You're not going to get to re-show them and restart it. So I started doing that when I first arm wrestled too. I'd look and complain. Trent completely fucked my call up. Okay, I just want to make that very clear. But I accepted the call because that's just the way the dice rolls sometimes. I also take yeah, but next time that happens, Michael, instead of watching your video, I want you to get in the referee's face and scream at him until you get you a yellow card. Use that yellow card. It's a warning. Okay, it's like a elbow foul. Use it if you need it. So feel free to bulldog that ref down, Michael. I will support you in your venture. What's Ford saying on here? He's having a conversation with someone else.
Brandon wants Trent to get in a fight. That's what it is.
Trent don't fight. He'll shoot someone in the kneecap. No. Trent, he loves this shit. He drove from vacation to come out here and yell at everybody and call elbow fouls tighter than a motherfucker. So, August 12th, King of Florida coming here. It's going to be crazy. The belts are coming out. Robert Kelly's going to have a whole head cam. Going to be insane. He's by this time he's going to have a little hot air balloon flying it around inside the building. A little mini Goodyear blimp.
This is outdoors and I have a drone.
There it is.
We can do it.
All right, man. Y'all be fun. I'll see you guys on here Monday. Look for your points to be posted on Wednesday. Robert Kelly with his first podium placement. Everybody send him some nudes as a message. Peace.
I'm going to get a gold, Brandon. It's going to happen.